Mercedes-Benz Australia is recalling its now defunct X-Class Ute as the rear window may shatter. 5,889 X-Class models produced between 2018 and 2019 are included in this recall, nearly all of which were sold in Australia during their roughly 2-year lifespan. What problem would the defect have caused? What are the features of the Mercedes X Dual Class Ute? Stay tuned to find out all the important unanswered questions we need answered. First up, what problem would the defect have caused? 993,407 vehicles were being recalled worldwide, including about 70,000 in Germany, the KBA added. Corrosion on the brake booster can, in the worst case, lead to the connection between the brake pedal and the braking system being interrupted, the KBA said. As a consequence, their service brakes can stop functioning. Mercedes-Benz confirmed the recall in a statement to the AFP news agency, stating the move was based on analysis of isolated reports for certain vehicles. In rare cases of very severe corrosion, it might be possible for a particularly strong or hard braking maneuver to cause mechanical damage to the brake booster, whereby the connection between brake pedal and brake system would fail, Mercedes said. In such a very rare case, it would not be possible to decelerate the vehicle via the service brake. Thus, the risk of a crash or injury would be increased. The company said it would start with the recall immediately and contact the owners of the potentially affected vehicles. The recall process will involve inspecting potentially affected vehicles and, depending on the results of the inspection, replacing the parts where necessary, the Stuttgart-based company said. Until the inspection takes place, we ask our customers not to drive their vehicles. If this problem had gone unnoticed or ignored, it would have caused severe backlash by users and damaged the company's reputation. Next up, what are the features of the Mercedes X-Class? The 2021 Mercedes-Benz X-Class 250D Power 4MATIC is a four-wheel drive dual-cab pickup that was released to the Australian market and classified as a 470. The X is regarded as a pickup or cab chassis 4x4 built in Spain, with prices from a dealer as a used car starting at $51,700. The X is a four-wheel drive four-door with 5 seats, powered by a 2.3-liter diesel turbo 4 engine that has 140 kilowatts of power at 3,750 RPM and 450 Nm of torque at 1,500 RPM via a 6-speed manual. According to Mercedes-Benz, the X250D Power 4MATIC uses 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers of diesel and emits 203 grams of CO2 on a combined city and highway cycle. Given that it has an 80-liter fuel tank, a full tank should allow for a 1,067-kilometer journey. The X has won a 5-star rating from ANCAP. The X-Class combines the strength and versatility of a utility vehicle with driving enjoyment on an equal level with that of passenger cars. This is due to the vehicle's wide track, long wheelbase, and comfortable Mercedes-Benz style spring and damping tuning, which doesn't compromise off-road performance. A complete array of comfort and safety equipment comes standard, which is unique in this segment. Given this extensive level of equipment, it perfectly fulfills the requirements placed on a modern family. It also stands out for its exemplary level of safety. The X-Class's design draws attention to the basic virtues of a Ute: robustness, strength, and off-road capability. Next up, why will Mercedes recall another 630,000 cars to stop pollution? Germany's top car makers will recall 630,000 vehicles to fix diesel engine software technology that's been blamed for causing high pollution, while the emission scandal engulfing Japan's Mitsubishi Motors deepened. According to a German government official, Porsche, Volkswagen, Audi, Opel, and Mercedes diesel vehicles will be recalled as part of a crackdown on nitrogen oxide emissions. According to the official, BMW is not included in the recall because it invested in fuel-saving technologies earlier than most of its competitors. The Volkswagen Group, which admitted last September that it had put software in 11 million diesel vehicles to evade emissions tests, owns Audi and Porsche. On Thursday, VW announced that it would repair or buy back 482,000 US vehicles equipped with the software. After announcing that it had started an investigation into its emissions testing at the request of the US Department of Justice, Daimler, the company that owns Mercedes-Benz, saw a decline in its stock of nearly 7% on Friday. After French anti-fraud investigators searched Peugeot's offices in Paris as part of a growing investigation connected to the VW emission scandal, shares of the automaker fell as much as 4.5%. The French automaker claimed that all of the countries in which it does business had emission standards that were met by its cars. Next off, why did the profits of Mercedes-Benz owner Daimler slump by 5 billion euros? Daimler, the company that owns Mercedes-Benz, saw a nearly two-thirds decline in profits in 2019 as a result of the Dieselgate scandal's legal costs and significant investments in electric technology. The German automaker reported a net profit of 2.7 billion euros, 2.3 billion pounds for 2019, nearly 5 billion euros less than the prior year. Additionally, it reduced its dividend from 3.25 euros per share to only 90 cents in order to save money for investing in the development of electric vehicle technology. Daimler is making drastic cuts to its global workforce in an effort to cut costs by more than 1 billion euros. By the end of 2022, it would cut at least 10,000 jobs globally, with management positions seeing the majority of layoffs, the company announced in November. Daimler is struggling with the costs of fundamentally changing its technology to move from internal combustion engines to electric cars, which is a major concern as strict and potentially expensive EU emissions limits come into effect. Daimler faces many of the same issues as other automakers around the world. At the same time, the Dieselgate emissions cheating scandal has triggered a slump in sales of diesel cars, particularly profitable for premium car makers such as Daimler and Volkswagen, the owner of Mercedes-Benz rival Audi. In 2019, Daimler recorded legal expenses totaling 5.4 billion euros, including Dieselgate expenses. Daimler still faces additional investigations in Germany and the US, as well as civil lawsuits from customers, despite the fact that German prosecutors fined the company 870 million euros in September for breaking emissions regulations. Next off, will Mercedes axe more than 100,000 jobs to cut costs? Mercedes-Benz plans to save 1.65 billion euros, 1.4 billion pounds, by cutting more than 1,000 jobs in the latest sign German car makers are struggling to make big investments in electric car technology. Automobile manufacturers all over the world are investing billions in the development of battery-powered electric vehicles, but at the same time, sales of internal combustion engines are declining due to the relatively weak economy and emission scandals. Mercedes-Benz's parent company Daimler announced on Thursday that its premium car division would be responsible for the majority of the job cuts, with wage bill reductions of 1 billion euros anticipated by 2022. The vans and trucks divisions will collectively cut staff and other costs by 650 million euros, which will have a particularly negative impact on management and contractors. With plans in place to cut investment in the medium term, Daimler stated that it would cap investment in real estate, machinery and equipment, as well as in research and development at current levels. The expenditure required to achieve the CO2 targets requires comprehensive measures to increase efficiency in all areas of our company, Board Chair Ola Källenius of Daimler said. Additionally, we need to simplify our systems and procedures. Daimler may incur additional legal fees in connection with alleged violations of emissions regulations, in addition to the global race toward electrification. Volkswagen, a rival German automaker, has also suffered from the scandal surrounding diesel emissions cheating technology. Next up, will Mercedes go all-electric by 2030? Mercedes-Benz, a luxury automaker owned by Daimler AG, says it is speeding up the switch to electric vehicles, doubling the planned share of sales by 2025 and laying out a possible market scenario in which, by the end of the decade, new car sales would in essence be entirely electric. The company also said that from that year, customers will have the option of buying an all-electric alternative for every model the company makes. The shift to electric vehicles is picking up speed, especially in the luxury segment where Mercedes-Benz belongs, said Ola Källenius, CEO of Daimler AG and Mercedes-Benz AG. The tipping point is getting closer, and we will be ready as markets switch to electric only by the end of this decade. Research and development are receiving more funding from the company. Between 2022 and 2030, battery electric vehicle investments will total more than 40 billion euros, according to a statement from Daimler. By 2025, the automaker predicts that half of its sales will be of battery-only or plug-in hybrid vehicles, up from a quarter in earlier projections. These vehicles made up 10.3% of all sales in the first half of this year. The company sold 121,500 plug-in hybrids, which combine an internal combustion engine with a battery, and 39,000 battery-only vehicles. In Europe, the share of electric cars is increasing, heavily driven by regulation and government incentives. Last year, electrically chargeable cars made up 10.5% of the European market. Mercedes has made a wise decision by recalling its defective cars. If you own an affected vehicle, you should contact your nearest authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer to schedule a free fix as soon as possible. What do you think about the Mercedes X? Do you see yourself buying it in the near future? Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching.